Ask any fan, any real football fan, whether you win by an inch or by a mile, winning is winning. And that is what Liverpool did against Wolves. Man, it was scrappy in the second half, conceding a goal after a brilliant first half performance. But for me, they got the 3 points, and that matters. But in all honesty, this was a very emotional match. That tribute to Diogo Jota before kickoff was absolutely beautiful. And seeing Virgil van Dijk with Diogo's kids, man, didn't that just touch your heart? It certainly touched mine. And, at the 20th minute, even though I couldn't be there at Anfield, right here in my lounge, in my living room at home, I was singing my heart out, man. Diogo Jota definitely, I think, will be remembered for years and years. And long may his memory continue, and may we carry him in our hearts, and his family as well, those beautiful kids. And hats off to Virgil van Dijk, who spent some time kicking the ball with him there. That was beautiful, man. Beautiful. So, yeah, definitely an emotional match for both Wolves and for Liverpool. And I think what we saw in the match really paid tribute to Diogo Jota. And that is why this match, I think, showed us something wonderful and something that needs to be addressed. And the thing that was wonderful was that first half, Liverpool really took charge of the possession of the ball. They made the moments when they had the ball count. And well done to Gravenberch for slotting one home or from a Jeremy Frimpong assist. Now, what I like is that the new guys really stepped up. And you can see what Arne Slot's idea is and what Liverpool's idea is with the players that they've acquired. And they finally now stepping up to the plate saying, hey, here's what I can bring to the table. And this is how we can strengthen how Liverpool looks. And beautiful that Gravenberch opened his, the account for Liverpool in that match by scoring. And then 89 seconds later, man, Florian Wirtz just getting that goal in there, his first one. The previous match, he got his first assist. The next match, he's got his first goal. What I'm hopeful for is maybe in the next match, he'll get his first hat-trick. But let me not get too ambitious here. But that was brilliant to see. Second half, however, was a little bit concerning because very quickly, Santiago Bueno, slotting one home, and all of a sudden Liverpool looked all nerves again. Now, we've spoken about this, and when Liverpool lose that confidence, they start looking nervous, the players start playing on top of one another, and it allows the opposition to push their dominance onto Liverpool, which is something that they shouldn't allow. Liverpool should not be allowing that. And it was very nervy, it was very scrappy, and they allowed Wolves to play with a little bit more confidence. All of a sudden the chest was out, and Wolves haven't been playing fantastic football this season, and all of a sudden in that second half they looked very, very dangerous. I was very nervous every time they came attacking, and I was watching Bueno specifically, and he looked like a real threat. He was controlling the game whenever he had the ball, and that should not happen. Liverpool definitely have to address the confidence issues that allows the opposition to make them feel as nervous as they did in that second half. But if we can continue to play like we did in the first half, then definitely Liverpool will control games. They won't allow opposition to be doing what they did. In that first half, just the amount of confidence that the players had, especially with the ball in possession, we were knocking it about while making progress into the opposition's half and into the opposition's box. And that is what we need to see from Liverpool. It makes them look very solid. And I'm sure every fan out there, just like me, was feeling like, yes, man, we are clicking. This is what we want to see. This is the type of gameplay that we've been asking for. And it was absolutely beautiful to behold. But in the second half, falling back into the trap that had just made Liverpool's season so very difficult over the last couple of months. So definitely something for the manager and the technical staff to go and address and to fix. They've got a couple of days now. Let's fix that. Let's address it and fix it. so that we can take the confidence going forward, and knocking in 2 goals very quickly should be the norm for this Liverpool team, and especially for the caliber of players that they have in the squad. Now, for a very brief moment, I just want to pause on Florian Wirtz. And it's not just about him tapping in a goal. He actually influenced the game to get to that point where he could score. Now, this is beautiful. This is why Liverpool acquired him. And even though we're not playing him through the middle in that number 10 type of role, and we played him on the left, he was able to do what he does best. And that was drift in, get to the center of the box and slot one away. Now, this is exactly what Arne Slot is expecting from a player like Florian Wirtz. And this is what I think the Liverpool management wants, management as a whole, wants from Florian Wirtz. And it's definitely something that I'm sure you and I have expected from Florian Wirtz. Now, if we allow him the freedom to do that, if he's also being fed the ball like he was in this match, then definitely we are going to get the Florian Wirtz that we saw in that first half against Wolves. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely clinical, and I think that is exactly what Arne Slot expects from that player and from all the players that we've acquired. Beautiful to see, beautiful moments. Yes. Now, this win moves Liverpool into and around that top 4 position, which is great for the Champions League position. But I think more importantly, what this means for me is that now that we've got this fantastic momentum going, it tells me and it signals to me that, number one, Liverpool is doing exactly what we expected from them early in the season. And it's now been 4 games. Am I correct? Three or 4? I think it's 4 games, 4 straight wins in the Premier League, 7 on the trot without a loss. And that is what we expected Liverpool to do from the beginning of the season. Everyone was afraid of Liverpool coming into the season. Everyone was saying that Liverpool was going to dominate. But I think in the back of our minds, we always knew it's going to take some time for this team to start gelling. There are early signs of that. It's not completely there. There are early signs. But what this means is that going ahead, and the more the team becomes comfortable with one another, the better Liverpool will start to look. Now, in that top 4 space, yes, great stuff. Let's keep that momentum going now. Let's take that into the Champions League as well. Let's keep it in all other competitions, because Liverpool's still in there with a chance in all of those other competitions. And say what you want to about the league, with the teams laying above Liverpool, playing fantastic football at the moment. But say about them what you want, say about the league what you want. But if Liverpool can stay there, I think it's just going to unsettle the teams in the top 3 over there. It's going to make it very difficult. And yes, Liverpool had its slump early in the season. Those other teams haven't yet had a slump. Now, they might or they might not have one. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we need to keep this momentum going so that it just makes absolute sense for this team. And I think this is what we want, isn't it? It's definitely what I want. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So, what are the positives and the negatives that we can take out of this? And I think there's 3 that stands out for me. And number 1, this is now 7 games on the trot, unbeaten. That is a good thing. That is what we want to see. We need to see a little bit more of that. The second thing is Wirtz coming into his own. Thank you. Thank you so much, Florian Wirtz. And the third thing, I think, is that this now shows that this Liverpool team is binding together. They're banding together, and they are playing the type of football that can dictate and dominate games. 3 of the negative things I think that really stand out is that the confidence dipping after going 2-0 up. Bad. You don't do that. You don't dominate the game and then all of a sudden you start retreating, starting feeling scared and stuff. No, you've got to go out and capitalize on the dominance that you have. And the fear needs to leave the team. The second thing I think that is a bit of a negative is that Liverpool over here just not defending set pieces again. I, for the life of me, cannot understand. We've got two of the most intimidating centre backs in the Premier League, and we are conceding set pieces week after week, or whenever it appears in a game. Liverpool seem to crumble under that type of thing. That should not be happening. And I think the third negative we can take from this is when we see the players on the field starting to do their own thing and they stop listening to what the instruction is from the manager on the sideline, we're starting to see Liverpool play with the type of gameplay that makes us lose our identity. And a lot of pundits have said this, and even some fans have said this, that, this performance was below par for Liverpool. And I have to agree, this could have been a lot better, and it should have been a lot better. But those are the three positives and the three negatives that I think we can take from this game. Okay, so what does this all mean? I think for Wolves, they will take the positives out of this match. And of course, they are laying at the bottom of the log at the moment, but they will move into the next game with a lot of confidence, knowing that they've been troubling at times for Liverpool. They've been troubling at times for Arsenal when they played them as well, and even for Manchester City. So they haven't been making things easy for the top performing teams in the Premier League. And they will definitely move into the next match with a lot of that confidence. You can't take that away from them, and may their season start to turn around as well. The key takeaway for me for Liverpool and what I really saw here in terms of the context is that the midfield rotation was great, was fantastic from Arne Slot, and we saw that Liverpool actually dominated this game through the midfield. That is good, because when you control the midfield, you control the possession that you have, and you move the ball in a progressive manner toward the opposition's goal. We've been seeing very little of that, I think, through the season. But in this match, we started seeing more of that. We've seen it in the previous two matches as well. We need more. We need more of that now. And I think that is going to be something we definitely need to be looking out for and be watching solidly for. So that's definitely a key takeaway, that midfield rotation. But I also think that the player rotation that Arne Slot makes, the substitutions that he makes when he makes them, that needs a little bit of refinement. We could be better in that aspect, just to come and take control of the game, change aspects of the game, and still keep the high intensity that we have when we do dominate. So that's what stood out for me. But if you'd be so kind, let me know what stood out for you. Drop it in the comments. Don't forget, hit a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to reaching 100 subscribers, and we want to do that by the end of January. And I know you and I can do that together. Hey, as we move towards New Year's, you must be safe wherever you are. And remember, be blessed wherever you are, and be a blessing wherever you are. You'll never walk alone.